So my wife and I have been homesteading a little over 4 years, and if we could go back in time, there will be some things that we would do differently. Not saying that we have any regrets because everything has worked out how it's supposed to, but if knowing what we know now, if I could go back, these are some of the things that I would do. The first thing would be when buying this property and moving on to the land, the first thing I would do is have a solid plan, not just the vision, because the vision is important. Don't get me wrong. But with the vision, you need a solid, rock solid plan that is broken down into phases, of execution by priority. Like what's more important, what's the most important things, and then you front load those things, and that's what go and achieve first. You know what I mean? But having a rock solid plan written down. Like not just the vision, oh, I want to do this, oh, I want to do that. No, having a plan to go behind the vision. The second thing that we would do is we would immediately clear all of the land, and put up fencing. That would be, one of the first things that if I could go back, that's what I would have done. Being that we had the means to do it at that time, I would have just went ahead and bit the bullet because it would have been a worthwhile investment to go ahead and get the land cleared and get the property fenced in. The third thing that I would do is build all of my initial infrastructure before getting any animals. I'm the type of person where I know, okay, I want this, I want to do that. I'm the type of person I will execute, while I'm still working the plan out, if that makes sense. So because that's how my mind works. Like I'm a doer. And so a lot of cases I just jump head first into things and I figure it out as I go. But in hindsight, if I can go back, one thing I would do is build all of my infrastructure before I even get any animals. So before we get the chickens that we want, before we get the sheep that we want, before we get the turkeys, before we get the goats, I would already have all of their infrastructure built. I would have their fencing put up, their shelters, the coops, everything. I will have everything already built prior to them getting on the land. Now, am I saying it has to be perfectly built? No, but you need something that's functional that they can live in an area that's safe from predators. You know what I mean, and you know what I mean, that provides them adequate shelter. And with sheep and goats, of course, like with animals like that, you need fencing, you need proper fencing. So I would go ahead and get all that stuff fenced in, and just and do it like that, because you don't want to have to go do it as you go. You don't want to have to do that. I'm gonna just be honest with you. And then the next thing I would do is I would be extremely intentional about everything I'm doing on the homestead, and not just doing things like I say flying by the seam of my pants. So this is not just with animals, this is with everything. Like being super intentional about the fruit trees I bring on, being super intentional about where I plant what, being super intentional just about everything, having everything mapped out in phases, and not just going along. You see what I'm saying? Not just being swayed by this or that, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm that type of person. You know what I mean? Like I could just go with the flow, and if I wake up tomorrow and say, hey, I want to get some cows, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go get some cows and I'm gonna put them on the land. Like, if I want to go get this breed or that breed, if I want to, say, hey, I want to try planting this, or I'm just spontaneous, and that is good in some points, but for the most part, you want to be super intentional about everything that you're doing when you're homesteading. And then the last thing is this: I would get a mentor or some type of coach who has experience on the farm, experience on the homestead, to help me with planning and establishing myself on my homestead, to come out on my land, walk it, survey it, and say, hey, this is what I would put that, this is what I would do with this is what I would do first. Like just somebody with the expertise that has the experience and has the lifestyle that I want. You see what I'm saying? That has been farming and has raised animals and been successful at it. So that's what I would do, and I would do that with every animal I want to raise. Get some sort of coach or mentorship, because YouTube is good, and books are good too. But at the same time, if you can find somebody who's done it that could give you guidance, I would definitely go with that. So I would get a coach, or some sort of mentor to come out on my land and help me with the establishment and help me with the planning of my homestead, because I know that they would have my best interests at heart. So those are things that I would do if I could go back. If this benefited you, I hope you would subscribe to this channel, like this video, man. We got more to come. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. Like I say, if you're giving the power to feed you, you give them the power to starve you. See y'all on the next one.
For bombs over Baghdad really ain't that bad. Little wiretap, yes, yes. Little dodge in the IRS. Little haven from the tax man.